Hey, welcome back to Cheating Wife, the best channel for cheating stories. Like and subscribe to the channel for cheating stories like this.
My, 29 male. Wife says she, 29 female, wants a divorce. We've been together for over 8 years. We've been dating for 4 years and were married in October. She claims she is unhappy and does not want to have children. She doesn't want a family, despite what she's been telling me for years. She wasn't into it when we first began dating, but as we got older, she would frequently remark about how thrilled she was to establish a family with me. She claims that my family, particularly my father, has never really cared for her. She isn't entirely incorrect in this. My father is a little old school and the fact that she wears sleeves has irritated him for a long time. But we've been together for so long that time has a way of changing these things. They get along well today and have never had any major disagreements. His attitude shifted when we chose to marry, and it became evident that we would be together for the long term. She claims she has pushed me to alter who I am in order for me to be with her. It's difficult for me to put into words precisely what she means. We've both evolved so much in the last decade, and 22-29 is a whole different existence. Of course, we both changed. It's what I call maturing. I can only think of little details, and she is quite controlling in the kitchen, so I don't cook as much as I used to. She only does it because she's a tidy freak, and I evidently don't satisfy her standards, haha. Similarly, I was born in the country and was often barefoot in and out of the home all the time, but she likes everything in the house to be just so. I guess you could say I have a bit of a hippie soul and she doesn't. I used to dislike that, but now I enjoy having our tidy house, and it's no difficulty for me to appreciate that for her since, even though we have different home standards, I can respect the work she puts in to keep things that way. She claims she has me whipped into shape, but that is not how I want to live. She claims that because of who she is, she dulls my radiance. It's really difficult to hear that. She is presently jobless. She quit her work during the epidemic in order to supplement her income. She has applied to a lot of various places now that that is finished, but she refuses to go back to her former work and rather to collect unemployment until she finds something she enjoys. That one is a little tricky for me. She has earned more than I have for months doing nothing, and although I understood and even supported it at first, the fact that she was unwilling to hustle and even work part-time while searching for jobs irritated me. Missouri is now open with limited limitations, and I have not missed a single day of work throughout this outbreak. I told her as much, and also informed her what I expected of her as my wife. I expected her to work at least until we had children, and seeing her so unconcerned about it disappointed me. She has never contributed to a savings account. We have separate checking accounts as well as a joint savings account. She has nearly never added to it, and despite earning more than me and being off work for many months, she has not contributed to our savings. She has paid off a few $1,000 bill, which is fantastic, but given how much she makes, she has basically squandered the money. I just wasn't expecting it. I got home from work, had a shower, and she summoned me into my room, saying she wasn't pleased and that she wanted it to stop. She said that she was no longer physically longing for me, despite the fact that she loved me. Obviously, this one did a number on my self-esteem. I work out on a daily basis, and although I'm not the fittest I've ever been, I used to be overweight, and I've prioritized my health and bodily fitness over the past decade. I assume the gap was created by my playing too many video games. We get out and watch movies or binge-watch series, but we also respect each other's space throughout the week, and after a hard day of work and training, I've certainly slumped down at my computer to game with pals more times than I probably should have. She claims that geeky things like that don't bother her at all, and it's the stuff I like, so I shouldn't feel obligated to adjust anything for her. She claims it's more complicated than that. I adored her and was overjoyed with our life together. Knowing she wasn't is heartbreaking. I feel responsible for her happiness, and as if I've let her down by not doing my bit to emotionally connect. But we often make jokes and laugh. We are true buddies. We were planned a vacation together soon and had an appointment with our bank this week to discuss first-time home buyer financing. I also believe it might have been a spark. She claims she wants a family and a country home, and even though she said she did, Now that we are making those steps, she is having cold feet and says she doesn't. I'm not sure what counsel to provide since I've never been in this situation before. It seems quite genuine, and she appears to be really determined. My self-esteem has been shattered, and I feel as though I have failed my marriage. I've always tried to put her first and to adore her. Our life was frequent and excellent despite the fact that it was completely unexpected. She appeared to care about us. Update 1. She had an affair with me. We've been together for 8 years and married for over a year. She stated she wasn't sure if we were going to work, and that it may be better if we split up, citing a number of concerns that had arisen years before. However, we had already gone through them and hadn't seen them in years, so it didn't make sense. After posting another anonymous Reddit post, I approached her and received some advice. I booted her out after she confessed to sleeping with another guy. She had been home nonstop with the flu and seemed to be borderline sad. She has since told me how much she regrets it, and how much she loves and is attached to me more than some person she had just met for a few days. But the idea that she met a man and then ended up cheating on him is absurd to me. I've never had anything but total faith in anybody. This shocked me and was completely unexpected. We intended to apply for first-time homebuyer financing the same week it was released. She is now living with her parents, and we communicate on a regular basis. Depending on the time of day, I felt a great deal of rage and melancholy. She believes she wants to work through it, but she also plans to spend a week in the mountains with her family to reflect. I'm at a loss on what to do. On the one hand, she broke my trust, but on the other hand, I've never loved someone like this before, and I value our marriage and prospective future if she's ready to work through it. But then I wonder whether she'd respect me if I returned her. If it's already too damaged. If she makes the decision, maybe the grass is greener on the other side. I'm simply puzzled and don't know what to do. I've tried not to speak to her too much while she's been gone, since it's either an emotional conversation or me being a jerk, both of which end up hurting me. Help, particularly from others who have gone through something similar, but I am open to different points of view. Edit: I have a great deal of affection for her family. They are definitely all heading to Colorado, not her or the newcomer. Update 2. We chatted again yesterday night, and we wept a lot and talked about our relationship. She has consented to spend the next several weeks with her relatives a few hours away. They will be in Colorado from the 22nd to the 29th of this month. She told me she needs to feel whether this is a mistake, and that she doesn't want to talk to me until she does. After that, if I'm available, she wants to speak with me. She swears she won't speak with this other man either, but I don't trust her. I apologize to her for everything. We are all human, and I adore her unconditionally. She doesn't appear interested in couples counseling and instead prefers individual therapy for herself. She said that I let her walk all over me, which led her to lose respect for me. She also said that she has had intimacy difficulties for a long time and doesn't know how to address them. We'd have once a week, maybe twice a week, and it would always be fantastic, and we would feel connected, but simply interacting seemed to be more difficult than it used to be. She would often shut me off, and it always appeared to be on her terms. Her family has pledged to keep me informed in secret on a regular basis, since they all adore me and want it to work out. During this difficult period, they have been blessings and showering me with affection. Mentally, I anticipate it to be over soon. I'm going to spend the next few weeks getting back to the gym and concentrating on what I've been losing out on while she's been gone. It will be tough not to reach out, but I must. If this is the end, she agreed that we may dissolve the marriage and nothing bad would happen, not that I have anything she could take anyhow. My friends and family have been quite supportive, and I received a lot of fantastic advice from my first post. I'll update you when we meet and discuss in a few weeks. Final update. So much has happened since I posted the 2 postings seeking help on how to handle a scenario I never expected to find myself in. I've been living alone for a few months now. I've filed for divorce, which will be an entirely uncontested process. I consider myself lucky that we did not have children or buy property together. The past 5 months have been the most difficult of my life. I also lost my work not long ago as a consequence of some bad conduct that started soon after the affair was disclosed. I'm working 30 hours a week for a landscaping firm right now, and I'm happy for the money to help pay the expenses. My friends and family are fantastic, and they love and support me tremendously. I've just started seeing a girl, and I like her. She fits a lot of the requirements I have for a companion. However, I still have a callousness in my heart. After over a decade with my SDBXW and being caught off guard by infidelity, I simply don't see the world the same way. I feel as if my innocence has been stripped from me, and I see the world as it is. It improves, and I have many more pleasant days and moments than negative. But I still experience those horrible times and will most likely continue to do so for a long time. I'm having difficulty trusting and feeling deserving of love. I was sleeping around a little at first, and I got a lot of conflicting advice. Some of my pals think I'm crazy for sleeping around since I'm simply using females. But I talk frankly and honestly about where I am emotionally and what I am willing to commit to. Some friends and family advise me to have fun and not close myself off and become too jaded. It's difficult to develop a true connection when I can't help but imagine that over a long enough timeline, a possible partner would get bored and just cheat or leave. I truly want to get married, have children, and live the old-fashioned, loving family life that everyone talks about. I've had a few married or in a relationship females sneak into my DMs, and that really irritates me. Where are the females who want to love and be loved, who have morals and ethics, and who want to go beyond the surface levels of a relationship? It seems to be a characteristic that is missing in the individuals I encounter nowadays. There's not much more to say. I haven't made any huge decisions, such as moving away and depleting my 401k, or anything else out of the ordinary. For the first time in my life, I'm loving living alone, plus I get to keep the puppy we adopted together, which means the world to me. I'm hoping to acquire a job with benefits again soon, and to start working in the direction of purchasing some property and a house. I'd want to thank everyone who DM'd me, commented, or gave genuine counsel and comfort in any other manner. It's good to see the internet behave positively every now and then. Reddit is unquestionably a fantastic resource. My main focus right now, I suppose, is healing, self-esteem, and all that jazz. I simply wish my heart wasn't so cruel and my demeanor wasn't so dismal. I assume it's just going to get better from here. I really hope so, since we could all use a little compassion come 2021.